Hey, welcome back to episode 2 of the comeback, the Red Sox 2004 documentary series. This is a paid request from Marc. Thank you so much for that. Like I said in the last one, if anyone has any requests, PayPal is usually the best bet. Do I have a Patreon and a Cash App? People have asked about them. Links are down below in the info box, and if you wish to, feel free. I'll get to it as soon as I can. But I know Marc wanted me to look at these individual reviews for each episode, which is fine with me. I did just let me know. I just got to know ahead of time, but he did. And like I said, I've liked what they did with these three. I kind of wanted a little bit more because I was enjoying it. But did review episode 1. That was more of a setup of the curse of the Bambino, what was going on with the Red Sox, new management, the 2003 season. They were like hit players, the Yankees and the Red Sox, and it was such a bitter rivalry. One pitcher hits this player, then the other pitch hits this player. There are fights out of the dugouts. Don Zimmer tries to punch Pedro Martinez. He kind of ducks and slams him down. The crowd of the Yankees, die Pedro, die. It's tied 3-3, but the Red Sox lose. And then we get to episode 2. Where, yes, the coach who let Pedro in, for some reason, because of his gut feeling, where apparently his gut was wrong, or maybe he had, I don't know, gas. Maybe he needed some, I don't know, Alka-Seltzer. Because it didn't work out, so he got fired. And as someone pointed out, the Yankees didn't even go on to win the World Series. Which I was interested to hear about. Because I'm very much a noob when it comes to baseball. And then they kind of reorganize and going to try to get some players, spend a bit of money. They usually didn't spend money. But here they were going to try to, with this new management, try to fix things. And Curt Schilling is introduced as the starting pitcher, which he becomes an important figure in the story. I did like the story where Theo and another guy went to talk with Curt Schilling to try to get him over there. And the assistant manager tells about how he got food poisoning at Curt Schilling's place. But it's like he didn't want to let on. That's why. Because they wanted the guy. They needed the guy for the team. And there's another guy they tried to get, A-Rod. Which I did hear about A-Rod. As a noob, I did hear about A-Rod. Alex Rodriguez. Even though I heard the name, to be honest, I don't know. Did he win any? How many did Alex Rodriguez win? So they won 1? Well. 2009 with the Yankees. Okay, so he did win 1. But the way they were hyping up made it seem like he was going to be, I don't know, Tom Brady of Patriots or something. But I guess that wasn't the case. But A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez, they wanted to get him. I did like Theo talking about how, oh, well, Alex, he's a nice guy. He's always a little full of shit, but I'm full of shit too. But he's a nice guy. So they wanted him, and the deal was ready to be set. But a guy who I like, Kevin Millar, again, he's my favorite in this documentary. He's pretty funny. Again, sort of this kind of southern guy, a little bit of blue collar. There was an interview because in order to get Alex, they had to trade a few people. And God, I don't know if I can pronounce his damn name. God, I will butcher that name. Namor. I'll say Namor, because I can't pronounce his last name. Namor, this guy who was kind of a beloved guy in Red Sox Nation at the crowds, the fans. They really like this guy. And they're like, well, he's doing good offensive, but they're like, well, he's not doing the greatest defense. And we kind of need that to help win the games. But here's the thing. They had not told anybody yet. They had not even told Namorla. And then he found out. Yeah, I find out on the radio and stuff that apparently they want to trade me, but no one ever bothered to tell me about it. And then this other guy, Millar, who's a teammate, Kevin Millar, he's asked by a reporter, well, who do you want? Like, who do you want to be on the Red Sox field in the upcoming year? And then he kind of looks at the camera and goes, A-Rod. Which causes tension because now Neymar thinks, oh, you threw me under the bus. I thought you were my friend. And my favorite part is they cut to an interview at this time period, like a new interview, where he's being asked. He's like, listen, I'm just giving my honest opinion on... No, he says, like, listen, I was just saying what they were doing. I'm just saying what was being planned. And then the guy behind the camera is like, no. They were asking, who do you want? And then Millar stops and goes, oh, who do I want? Wow. Damn, then he has a right to be mad. Like, he apparently misunderstood what happened back then. So I guess he thought, well, yeah, we were told, yep, A-Rod's going to be playing. So that's how he heard the question back in the day. And just now, he just kind of, someone had to tell him, he's like, oh, that's what the guy asked? Who do I want? That I thought was the funniest fucking thing. So, especially the part is, well, then he has a right to be mad. So apparently this causes a lot of more friction. No more A-Rod. In fact, the most ironic thing is A-Rod went to the Yankees instead, to their arch rivals. And because they fired their coach, their manager, they get a new manager, and it's a guy named Terry, who seems like a nice guy, seems like a fun guy. People talk about how he's a funny guy and how there wouldn't be a whole lot of tension dealing with him. But they talk about how it's the beginning of the 2004 season and how there's a lot of friction. There's new people in. Namor, who's going to be traded, now he's kept. And kind of have this little, bud in his shoulder of, chip on his shoulder. Like, you guys were going to trade me and I wasn't good enough to be here, but now I'm here. But now we're supposed to act like everything's normal. And pretty much how there was friction involved. Until finally there was a game they played with the Yankees, of course. Another fight breaks out. It was mostly with the Yankees. It felt like there was no other team they fought with on the field except the Yankees, where the catcher, Veritek, and A-Rod had a fight. And they're punching each other, and people come out, and I guess on that day they finally, the Sox win the game as well. So not only do they win the fight, they win the game, and they become a team. And it's like, okay, we gotta trade no more. And Theo gets very much judged with that because the fans really like him. They go, what the fuck's this guy doing? He's a dumbass. So things aren't looking good. There's all this friction and tension. I guess the only thing is, it's an hour long, but I kind of would not have minded a bit longer to really show a bit more details of the season of, what was going on in the locker room in terms of, like they say there was tension involved between the two, but were there certain times where it's like, okay, I try to apologize for him, or I tried to apologize to him, but he told me to go fuck myself this day, or we tried to go out, and he told me to go piss up a rope, and the coach tried to talk to Namor, Nomar. I don't know why I keep saying Namor like he's the damn Marvel character, but Nomar. Which they have a little bit of the coach talk about, but I guess a little bit more detail, and I don't know, just certain little bits here and there that I wanted to hear more about. But overall, this was another interesting episode. And then episode 3, we'll get into more of they're 10 behind, they're a tie-in for the wild card, and now they're going into the stretch of what will become known as perhaps the greatest comeback in baseball history. It would have been cool to have a bit more of an interview with Alex Rodriguez, A-Rod, and get his point of view. And was Nomar still alive? Or did he not want to talk about it? So he's still alive. Garcia Parra, Nomar. It would have been nice to hear. Maybe he didn't want to talk about it, to be fair, but at the same time, it's like it would have been nice to hear his point of view, what was going on, more so at least. Does he hear like little radio static and stuff? But it would have been nice to hear more from him and hear from A-Rod. But I didn't. Maybe they're like, I don't really want to do a. Was that you're just doing a Red Sox documentary? It's you telling your point of view. Because if you're not going to tell, someone's going to tell it for you or about you, and you won't have a say in it. Because that way you get a little bit more of the tension, a little bit more of the other side of what was going on with the tension between the two teams and things of that nature. But overall, it was still fun to watch. Again, my favorite part is Bilar saying, "Oh, who do I want? Man, he's got a right to be mad." That part killed me. I thought that was pretty hilarious. But yeah, it went by fast. Didn't get too bored with it, and it was still fascinating as it was. So that with episode 2, we'll get into episode 3. I know these aren't like long reviews, but they're only like an hour long, and they go by pretty fast. They're pretty self-explanatory, and definitely worth a watch if you like. Even if you're not into sports, they're interesting documentaries. So, with that said, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one for the last episode, episode 3. See you guys later.